Hello everyone, welcome to History Insights, where we dive into pivotal moments of the past. I'm your host Hafiz Abdul Hadi. Today we are exploring the Neolithic Revolution, a turning point in human history when societies transitioned from hunting and gathering to agriculture and settlement. We have three distinguished guests with us today. Let's welcome them Mr. Aurangzeb, an archaeologist, Mr. Sufyan Rajput, a historian, and Mr. Muhammad Hassan, an anthropologist. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so let's move on. Segment 1. So, Mr. Aurangzeb, can you explain what the Neolithic Revolution was and why it is so significant?
Sure, Adi. The Neolithic Revolution started about 10,000 years ago. It was when people began farming instead of just hunting and gathering food. This change allowed them to stay in one place and build villages.
Okay, Mr. Sufyan, my next question is from you. How did this shift impact early human societies?
I think it had a huge impact because farming meant people could grow more food, so population grew. They built permanent homes and communities, which eventually led to the first cities.
Okay, Muhammad Hassan, what made this period so different from what came before?
Before the Neolithic Revolution, people moved around a lot to find food. With farming, they could settle down, create tools, and start trading with each other, which changed how societies worked.
Okay, guys, let's move on. Second segment, technological and social changes. So, Mr. Aurangzeb, what were the some of the key technological advancement during the Neolithic period? Could you please tell us about that thing and what do you believe about that?
Yes, Adi. One of the major advancement was the creation of farming tools like plows and sickles. These tools made farming easier and more efficient.
So, Mr. Sufyan Rajput, what kind of social changes did this new way of living bring? Do you have any thought about that?
There's a lot of social changes, like farming led to food surplus, so not everyone had to farm because some people became artisans making pottery, weaving textiles, and building structures. So this has also created new social rules and also job specialization, and I think which is perfect for everyone.
So, Mr. Hassan, let's talk about something about the people. So, I'm gonna ask something about the people of that time. So, do you have any thought about how did these changes affect daily life for people?
Daily life became more stable, people had reliable food sources, and could build homes. This stability allowed them to develop new skills and craft, which enriched their communities.
Okay, guys, so we are done with our second segment. So, now let's talk about the long term impact and reflection. Mr. Aurangzeb, what are some long term impact of the Neolithic Revolution that we can see in today's world? Do you consider it or do you have any idea about that certain thing or we just want to know your views on that question?
Hadi, the most significant impact is the development of permanent settlements and the growth of cities. Our modern cities and economics are built on the foundation laid during this period.
Mr. Sufyan Rajput, do you think the Neolithic Revolution was an entirely positive change?
Not entirely. While it brought many advancements, it also led to social inequalities. Some people controlled more resources than others, so which created social hierarchies.
Mr. Hassan, could you please tell us what are the some other downside of this period?
According to me, the sedentary lifestyle led to health issues and the spread of diseases. Living close to animals and other peoples made it easier for disease to spread.
So, Mr. Aurangzeb, can you please describe some of the architectural style or feature that were unique to Neolithic settlements, or anything that kind of it?
Basically, Hadi, Neolithic houses were often round or rectangular with walls made from stick and mud or stone. Also, they had thatched roof and were built close together in small villages. Special feature, if I say, was the use of big stones for community or religious purposes, like at Stone Age we can see and New Grange in Ireland.
So, my next question to you, Mr. Sufyan Rajput, how did these early settlement pave the way for urbanization in the later period? Did you know anything about that?
Yeah, I think early Neolithic settlements laid the groundwork for urbanization by establishing the basic principles like community living, resources management, and social organization. As these settlements grew, they developed more sophisticated infrastructures like including roads, irrigation systems, and trade networks. This also increased connectivity and complexity, set the stage for the development of larger cities and states in the Bronze Age and beyond.
Mr. Hassan, what role did religion and communal activities play in Neolithic settlement? Uh, what's your opinion about that?
Hadi, according to me, religion and community activities were very important in Neolithic villages. They had special places for ritual and gatherings, which helped bring people together. Things like altars and ceremonial buildings shows that spirituality and community events were a big part of everyday life and help unite the villages.
Okay, guys, so we have time for a couple of questions from our listeners as well. The first question is, how did the Neolithic Revolution spread to the different part of the world?
Great question. It spreads through migration and cultural exchange. As people moved and traded, they shared farming techniques with others.
Mr. Sufyan Rajput, can you please add some your views on the same question?
Yeah, trade routes were very important, very important. Not only important, people also saw the benefits of farming and adopted these practices in their own regions also.
So, Mr. Hassan, what were the some of the first plant and animals to be domesticated?
Early domesticated plants, including wheat and barley, and animals like sheep, goats, and other cattle, were also among the first to be domesticated because they were very useful for them for their food and labor.
So, thank you so much, guys, Mr. Sufyan, Mr. Rajput, and Mr. Hassan, for sharing your insights on the Neolithic Revolution. You know, guys, it's really fascinating to see how this period led to groundwork for modern society. And we really appreciate and thank to our listeners to turning in. Join us next time on History Insights as we explore more transformative moments in history. Thank you, everyone.